Every man I face have hit the canvas or I even knocked him out. Soon it's gonna be go time. And when it's go time...
Yes, he may well be one of the hardest punchers in boxing history, and from the outset this looks like just another easy night's work for the Bronze Bomber. But there are many factors in play that tell us it ain't necessarily so. There's a lot more to the story of Wilder versus Parker. Strap in! So the Bronze Bomber is finally back. Over a year and 2 months will have passed when he sets foot in the ring against the former world champion Parker. But ruddy hell, where has he been, eh? Well, boxing wise, before the Joshua shit show, it was an exhausting few months trying to negotiate a fight with Andy Ruiz, who seems to think he's worth about £4 billion a fight these days. I mean, come on, Andy. You had a raver against Joshua, then you earned a bundle in the rematch, but you ate too much fucking cheese and you lost, bruv. You're still a draw, but you need to lower your expectations. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyway, having said all that, who knows if it was Wilder's fault or Cartman's, but either way the Bomber's been unable to seal a deal, and instead he's been having time away from the sport, enjoying the finer things in life. He's been playing a bit of golf, he's got his little perfume range humdinging the place out, and he's even been making music, having a little sing-song, can you believe? Yeah, so there we are. He's got a little single out and everything. I watched the music video. It weren't bad, to be honest. I can't really remember how the song goes, but it was a good little video. Yeah, so there you go. Every time by Deontay Wilder. Download now, bosh. But anyway, the point is, it's clear to see his mind's been a bit elsewhere, and he even said it himself.
I asked him, I said, look, have you missed boxing like we've missed you? Because we have missed Deontay Wilder. And he's like, no. He hasn't missed boxing. He wants to spend time with his family, his wife.
Thank you very much, Ade. But yes, whether it's the money, the AJ fight or the belts, he is finally back in action. He's raring to go with a great big fucking spider on his head. But we do have to ask, will this hiatus have an effect on his performance? And is his head fully in the game? We'll talk about that in a minute. But what about old Jospeh Parker then? Well, he's been much more active in contrast. He's beat 3 so-so fighters already this year. Looks a bit rough against Jack Massey, but 2 knockouts did follow. A decent little confidence boost after the heavy knockout against Joe Joyce. Now, he's always been a bit of a funny old fighter, Parker, to be honest. He can look good, he can look poor. Joyce aside, he's always shown a very good chin. He's always been very tough, but he's also been known to lose interest in fights, going wandering when things aren't going his way, seeming to lack urgency, determination and spite.
I think you're right when you say he's lethargic and he's switching off. He's one-paced. He looks disinterested. I'll be totally honest, he looks like he feels sorry for himself in there.
He's not enjoying it, is he?
No, he doesn't look like he wants to be there.
So it's sometimes difficult to know exactly what version you're going to get of him. However, ultimately he is still a very good fighter. He does have a wealth of experience behind him, and he seems to have been rejuvenated since hooking up with Andy Lee back around the first Chisora fight, showing a bit more fire in the belly. So Parker can definitely bang, but his biggest attribute is his very fast hands. Take away Fury and you'll see that nobody on Wilder's record is renowned for having fast hands. Ortiz is a very heavy hitter, but he's not that fast, especially not at 90 years old or whatever the fuck he is. Oh, fuck knows how old he is. And yet Ortiz is considered his toughest test outside of the Gypsy King. I suppose it's debatable who's better, Parker or Ortiz. Parker beat Ruiz, been world champion. Ortiz lost to Ruiz. I don't know. But based on a couple more high profile wins for Parker, it's probably fair to say that this will be Wilder's second hardest test, so it may not be as cut and dry as a Wilder walkover like many anticipate. Although now I've said that, Wilder will probably win in round fucking 1, won't he? Yeah, I'll tell you what, Parker's got a bloody good chance here. Oh, alright, fair enough, maybe fucking not. And yeah, believe me, I know full well that could happen, but if you do dissect it, he can cause a lot of trouble for Wilder. Not just the fact that he's a better boxer with a decent chin and fast hands, but for example, Joshua couldn't take him out in their fight. He got beat by Joyce because he was totally worn down and exhausted by the 11th round due to Joyce's relentless pressure. However, Wilder is not that type of pressure fighter, and within the fight he landed some absolute bombs on Joyce that if he lands on Wilder will definitely make a lot of impact. We know that Wilder does get hit very easily, and if Parker lands one first, the remainder of this fight will be very interesting. But his biggest weapon is of course Andy Lee. Being a part of the Fury Wilder fights, there's no one better to know the blueprint to beat this man. All you gotta do is spike his water, add a couple of fucking weights to his costume, bosh, simples. No, but seriously, he's a smart man, old Andy Lee, and you can guarantee Tyson, although training for Usyk, will be guiding Joe along as well. Yes, of course, he's a devastating puncher, Wilder, but somehow take that away from him on the night, and you really are only left with an average boxer that has heart, which is what Fury did so well in the second fight.
You fight Wilder at two ranges, either completely out of range and out distance, or up close. You don't fight him in that middle range where he's at the end of his power.
So we know at any second this fight could be over for Joseph, so he has to be switched on, has to prepare to be switched on, and focus and concentration every second.
Now, as we mentioned, the old bronze bomber's been very inactive. Only one round in 26 months come fight night, and it's fair to say we never got to see the full effects of the two Fury batterings in his speedy knockout of Robert Helanius. Who knows how much that took out of him? I mean, he said it himself, he was happy to have a break from boxing. Essentially, no fighter is quite the same after a knockout. The same for Joe, of course, don't get me wrong, but nobody can tell me that this amount of inactivity is going to produce the same fighter we knew a few years back, and even then he was solely relying on the haymaker every single fight. Now, I think I've made my case for Parker. I do think Wilder's in for a bit of a shock in this fight, and I do think he may come unstuck more than once, but I can't beat about the hairy bush. The Wilder right hand is something phenomenal. He doesn't even need to land a peach like he did with Brazil when he sent his head to the fucking moon. He can rely on 50% of the power to still turn someone's lights out. The man is just a different breed. Make no bones about it, the majority of the boxing world are right to expect another brutal Wilder KO since he does it so often. It wouldn't be a surprise at all. But you know, bear in mind the inactivity, bear in mind his focus has been elsewhere. He may not have been training hard over the past year like he used to, we simply don't know. And if Wilder had beat a number of good fighters like Parker, I would of course be saying it's a guaranteed bronze bomber victory. But the truth is, he ain't. Parker is by no means a pushover, and nobody takes a fight with Deontay if they don't think they can win.
I take the best fights and the biggest fights, and I don't shy away from challenges. And I feel that Deontay, a lot of people are wary of him and scared of the right hand that he possesses, but I'm all in and I'm all for it.
So yes, this could be very interesting. And yes, anyway, here's my prediction: Wilder KO round 1. No, I'm joking, fuck knows what's going to happen. Bring it on though, and don't forget, embrace your masculine heritage. Get yourself this manly beauty of a superfood blend Afanase, an absolute game changer for men's well-being with a lush recipe that can provide a multitude of benefits. Big Baby Miller said it's fucking blinding. No, I'm joking, this is the true to life good stuff. So click the link in the description to learn more. And of course, get a discount. Merry Christmas and ting, bosh.